Once upon a time, in the late 60s and early 70s, there was a pioneering generation of Scottish filmmakers who made short films and documentaries, and their dream, the pot of gold at the end of their particular rainbow, was that one day they might get to make feature films. Bill Forsyth was the one that made that dream a reality. He went to work with the Youth Theatre, he made that sinking feeling, and then he made Gregory's Girl, a film that so perfectly captured adolescent feelings and first love and romance and school days, and so specifically captured it in Cumbernauld that it was a film that kind of had a resonance for the whole world and has become one of the most beloved Scottish films ever made. So we're particularly pleased to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the film today.
The very first day I went along to the Youth Theatre to join, they were rehearsing a scene from Gregory's Girl. So I knew about it kind of fairly early on. I mean, it was a big part of the Youth Theatre for years, wasn't it? While Bill was trying to raise the money for it.
We used to meet on a Friday night in Bridgeton for the Youth Theatre. And one night, the director, John Baraldi, says, I want to introduce you to somebody. This is Bill Forsyth. He's a filmmaker. He wants to make a film with you. And we all sort of went, aye, right, you.
Claire, pass on to Claire. You had a very different experience in a way because you hadn't got used to him being in the back of the hall for weeks and months, and you served him in a restaurant, didn't you?
Yes. After school, I used to have a part-time job as a waitress in a restaurant in Glasgow called the Spaghetti Factory, which was kind of quite legendary at the time. And he was with another director the night I met him, and they said to me, I'm going to make a film. And I was like, yeah, just like you, Rab, you're just like, as if it's the most normal thing in the world for somebody to say to you, I'm going to be making a film, would you like to be in it? All right, okay.
Dee, tell us how you came into Bill Forsyth's world, and how were your football skills when you were first?
I don't know that I had many football skills. We did used to kick a ball around with friends just down at the local park. But when I first met Bill, I believe a lady that was working with Bill on the production had worked with me on a commercial where I was dancing, a bit different to football, but she seemingly sort of pointed out that I might be energetic enough to cope with the football. I then was asked to go for a football screen test, which was a bit nerve-wracking. I actually missed that interview because I was so nervous I was sick and went back home from the bus stop.
It's a glamorous life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like glamorous life being an actress. So I went home and I phoned Bill and I sort of made some feeble excuse, didn't admit to vomiting at the bus stop. And he said, it's okay, we'll do it tomorrow. So the next day, controlled the nerves and got to Partick Thistle's ground and ran about with a football, trying to do I don't know what.
I mean, we had a great time. It was a laugh, that was the thing. We were having a ball and getting paid for it. It was brilliant. Everybody knew, I think, that it was something pretty special we were involved in, but nobody had any idea just how special that would become. And I think you'll agree it is pretty special thing, especially part of the Scottish film history and stuff like that. But it was unbelievable to be involved in it, and it's just the typical thing in Glasgow, people asking what you're doing, and you're saying, I'm making a film, and they go, oh, aye, right, very good. Like my dad didn't believe me, and even like doing that sinking feeling, I said, I'm making a film, and he's like, right, aye, very good. And that was it. That's as exciting as he got, and until he went to see it, it was shown at the Classic Grand, right? And he was mortified because it was in the porn cinema. with my name, letters that size outside it. He was mortified.
And was there not many years later, maybe when you were in America and you discovered that it was some director's particularly favourite film?
I took my mum to New York for the first time, and I took her to this restaurant called the Tribeca Bar and Grill, which is owned by Robert De Niro. And there was like a real old school New York waiter who served us and who loved my mum and the aunts, not interested in me and my sister at all, but was like, really like the aunties, you know, one of those old guys. And he says, oh, we have a cinema upstairs and all this. And so we went up the stairs to see the cinema, and it was Martin Scorsese's private screening room. And of course, he was going, oh, we've had some great nights here and all this. And my mum, of course, couldn't resist the opportunity to say, Claire's an actress, you know. And he was like, really? And she said, yes, she's been in a film called Gregory's Girl. And the guy was like, oh my God, that's one of Marty's favourites. So that's one of my big claims to fame.
Please join me in thanking the fantastic cast of Gregory's Girl.